How to be more creative. So, hello and welcome back to today's episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. I'm so glad and so fucking happy that you are here again and that I'm actually able to do what I'm doing right now, because it is fucking nice. It is really fucking nice. I really appreciate that I even have the ability to do what I'm doing right now. It feels amazing. I'm just really feeling amazing. This is the second episode of today that I'm just... Is it great with that actually? Because I just somehow did the light differently. I hope this is not some... Can I move it? Please don't fall. Yeah, it's working like this as well. Because I'm just, having the light quite in front of me, which is great, because then I'm not somehow just, quite, brighter on one side than on the other. It is just, what it is, because there's a there is a window, and therefore I'm just normally brighter on this side than on this side. But I think it would be just a little bit boring if I would be just as bright on every side. But if that side would be just too quite dark, then it would be just bad. Okay, enough being philosophical about just light and dark or bright and dark and yeah. So this is gonna be about how to be more creative. And I think through the first few steps of this summary or even just better said article, which is again from the ideas.that.com website, which is great because I didn't actually start to do another book summary, and I hope I didn't yesterday or something. I really hope I didn't, because then I would have just fucked everything. But I think yesterday I've actually just finished with the other ones. So why I'm doing this? Because it feels a little bit better and a little bit greater to actually go through such a thing than going through just such a big summary. And I do think these small things are nice as well. So the whole summaries are good, in terms of actually the whole value you're getting out of it, because there's just so much value in them. It's just incredible. It really is incredible. It just totally is incredible. But the thing is, we just have to go through everything. And this is, I think, definitely not something that a lot of people would like. Therefore, I'm also just thinking about kind of summarizing them myself once again and kind of presenting them again to you. Would maybe be nice, and I would actually like to try this out. In general, like talking only on myself rather than reading and talking and whatsoever. But yeah, maybe you should only put out stuff that I think won't just be that good, as Gary Vee actually kind of suggested, which is, I think, quite true, because we creators, or people who just create content or whatever it will be, also design in general, I guess they're too strict with themselves, and basically they aren't the judge. The judge is always the client, or the person you're just doing the artwork for. But yeah, enough being said, we will go through, take an initial walk, and experience your community in a whole new way. Well, this has something to do with creativity. I think you're just gonna notice it or recognize it, at least at the end of the whole thing. So try these 5 strategies to step out of your routine and wake up to the life around you, says urban explorer Eugene Quinn. I'm just really happy that I actually pronounced his name correctly and that I knew how to fucking pronounce it. I'm actually feels pretty nice somehow. I don't know why. I really don't know why, but it somehow feels great. So this post is part of Ted's How to Be a Better Human series, each of which contains a piece of helpful advice from someone in the TED community. And to see all the posts, go here. So as I said, this is an article from the ideas.ted.com website. Why I've chosen it? Because I think it's a great website, and all these articles aren't too long, so they're quite short, but still they just have a lot of value in them, and this is great. Short and a lot of value is great, I think, for most of people. Why I'm then doing 30-minute episodes, I don't know. I really don't. So boredom, wanderlust or wanderlust, as it would be pronounced in English, these feelings come and go throughout our days, and we tend to bat them away. But there is a no-cost, passport-free way to satisfy them both. How? By taking an intentional walk through your town or city, says Eugene Quinn, who leads unusual walking tours through his adopted hometown of Vienna. So he's actually Austrian, or Vienna is in Austria, so he's not Austrian, but pretty interesting. So there's always the video from this TED Talk, I guess it is from it, at the very bottom of it, so I'm just gonna show it at the end of the video, and maybe just watch it instead of this video or something, or additional to this video, I don't know, you'll see, you decide. So in Vienna, when people imagine taking a walk, they think of going to a lake or a park. I think that's a mistake, he says. We should go for a walk in our own neighborhoods rather than try to escape. And what does he suggest? Close your door on a Saturday morning and go off in a direction you have never been before. Actually, this is something that I unintentionally did before. I'm just thinking now if it is actually making the camera look a little bit milky. Let me see. Is this better than this? Yeah, it somehow is. Is this bad like this right now? No, it doesn't. It makes a difference. It totally makes a difference. But as you can see right now, it totally makes a difference than like this. As you can see, here is the light. Just some stupid construction, actually. Some really fucking stupid construction. I'm sorry. For actually... Yeah, this should be it. If something is working, don't touch it. Most of the time. At least in such ways. This is actually something that I've initially or unintentionally did before, because I really like to go to ride my bike and to ride my bike through my hometown, and I've actually been seeing some things that I haven't seen before, because what I like about actually taking my bike is that I'm way faster. I do not like to walk, and I do not really like to run, or just to go through a run. When I'm playing soccer, I love playing soccer, then, I do just have to run, but this is something different. And I've actually been thinking about taking a ball with me, but, this would, I don't know, it would be just somehow like, maybe I'm just, missing it and just, shoot it at somebody else, which wouldn't be that great. But I like to go and ride my bike and, whatsoever, and I've really been just discovering sides of my city, of my hometown that I've never seen before, and I think that I wouldn't have seen them if I wouldn't have taken the bike. It was just incredible to go through all the things, all the small little kind of streets and whatsoever, to see, okay, what is there. And I think you just have to consciously go through the things, or at least maybe take your bike, because you're way faster and you just really can't go through every single just place or every single street of your city. So let's see what he says. So close your door, blah 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 blah. Just walk in the direction for an hour and see what happens. Open up, he says, to the potential of finding stuff by accident, finding yourself and enjoying the freeness of wandering without an objective. Here are 5 suggestions for how you can take an intentional walk. The first thing is ignore the Maps app on your phone. By the way, who the fuck? I'm not living in a big city. We have, I think, 18,000 just people living in here, so it's definitely not big. It really isn't. But who the fuck needs a fucking map in their hometown? Well, Well, you know what? I believe that there are some people who actually need maps in their hometown. You know, if it is really a big fuck-ass city like London or New York or some shit like this, nobody knows everything of it. Like, I think not even all the taxi drivers. Yeah, maybe they just have to. Like, yeah, I think they just have to. But, you know, not every of the citizens actually know everything, like, about a city. Or, like, every single corner of a city. If it's a big one, you know, if it's like, you know, a small little, you know, town that I'm living in, I guess everybody knows where everything is. Still, I've made the experience that I've just, you know, have discovered some paths or some streets or some houses or whatever there is that I have never ever seen before. So yeah. I'm apologizing. I do think some people need maps. So when walking with a Maps app, you're directed to take a route that gets you there in the fewest steps. Instead, Quinn says, get lost. Don't focus on your phone, it's part of the problem. Focus on spontaneity and serendipity rather than what actually does serendipity mean? It is luck. Chance, luck. Rather than our device, he says, you're going to get Instagram likes on your pictures or whatever. They can wait. But they can wait. Totally. The second one is take off your headphones. Also something that I would say makes sense for me, because you really then just hear everything. You're hearing the birds, you're hearing, you know, cars, you're hearing maybe some sounds that you've never seen before because there is some bakery there that is somehow just... By the way, you know, the funny thing about my town is, or, you know, the way I'm going home, I'm just passing by a coffee bean roastery. I guess it is. So there's basically such a big, you know, kind of, I don't know what it is. I don't know how to call it. There is smoke coming out of it. It is such a small thing. The funny thing is that this is coming out of the fucking wall, going up the wall a little bit, and then there is just... I'm sorry. And then there is actually just... There's actually just like a little hole. A tiny, like, you know, it's a pipeline. It's a pipeline. Like, you know, just... You have everywhere. You also have them in your fucking wall because you need electricity and or water or something like this. So there's just a little pipeline. I guess it is called. I don't fucking know. The pipeline, as it ends, has a hole, and there's smoke coming out of it. And every single time, when I'm going there, in the evening, when I'm coming home from school, when I'm coming home from, you know, the railway station or whatever, and I'm smelling something. I'm smelling something that's really not smelling good, and I've always thought, like, who the fuck again just drive... Should I let it be it? The thing is, it's actually pretty nice because the additional light is just quite great, to be honest. I could do it like this. Does this work? Yeah. I guess it works some. Do you see how bright it is? Yeah. Never mind. So, every single time, I'm really thinking, like, who the fuck again drives with fucking oil? You know, instead of fuel or, you know, like diesel or like the other things, the normal fuel, like, you know what I mean. So there are two types of fuel for, you know, normal car, besides electricity actually. And I always wonder, why the fuck do people drive with something they shouldn't drive with? And then I'm just, you know, suddenly I've noticed they are fucking roasting beans at the time, and this is what smells so fucking bad. And sometimes, you know, smoke is coming out of it that seems to be, like, you know, enormously. But yeah, it is great. It is fucking great. I do think that the coffee there should be great. I don't know. I have never ever just Actually, the first time that I went there, I think it was the second time I went there, was actually when I, was coming up, I was going in there. I hope I can tell the story. I was going in there, into this shop. It is a tiny little shop, and it really looks great. It looks nice, pretty, rusty. Not rusty, but so, like, yeah, old, but not old, so old, vintage old, something like this. And not hipster as well, so I was coming up to them, was going into it, and there's some box or some showcase kind of fucking thing, whatever it is called, with some cakes and whatever, and then I ask this woman at the I don't know what it's called, at this kind of case thing, whatever, I think you know what I mean, and I ask her, could I get the boss, please? And then the boss suddenly came across the corner, who needs me? And like, okay. And I was coming up to him and being like, okay, I've seen that you don't have an Instagram page. I've seen that you don't have a Facebook page. And he just immediately was like, I don't need these things. And then he just, as he was telling me, he was walking away. So I just really have seen that he doesn't want anything. Nothing. He's just really against all these social media things and everything. And then I've decided, okay, I'm going to go, and yeah, I guess it's one of the things that young people who are willing to do some things independently have to cope with. Like, a lot of people will just kind of, even though I was wearing a suit because I was just coming home from something, I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I do think a lot of elderly people just won't take you seriously, like. Yeah, at least people that don't know you, So yeah, let's see. So take off your headphones. As great as it is to have Beyonce provide your personal score, you lose more than you you lose more than you gain. Quinn says, you're not really in the neighborhood you're in. Instead, tune into the rhythms around you instead. The conversations, footsteps, cyclists, cars, buses, trucks, sirens, dog barks, bird calls. Be open to ideas that come spontaneously to you from the soundtrack of your city or town, he says. And the third thing is seek out connection. We've all had a random interaction with a stranger, a passing remark of compliment, a shared laugh, or a glance that lasted no more than a few minutes but made our day. These encounters, therefore, this is the actual only reason why I always say that you should be nicer to the people outside, and you should just give them some compliments. If you're seeing somebody who's wearing something that's pretty fucking cool, tell them. And it is just such a quick interaction, but it would make the fucking day. Really love this. Really love that they pointed it out. So these encounters can happen anytime and anywhere, but they are more likely to occur when you're not in a hurry or fixated on a destination. Sit chat, so it's CHIT and then chat with your barista, smile at the people you pass, give a compliment, or ask for directions. Even though I'm thinking about it, like, wouldn't it be quite, like stupid if, you come up to people and you basically know the direction. Well, maybe you don't, but if you know the direction, you're like, okay, it is somewhere in my head, I don't know why. You're coming up to them and being like, okay, where do I have to go, this and that and whatsoever, and then they're like, yeah, you have to go there, this way and that way, and you've already known this before, like, just to have a conversation. Yeah, I thought it would be, like, funnier than this, but yeah, pretty sad, to be honest. Yeah. Let's see. The fourth one, sorry. So the fourth one is think like a child. The father of a 6-year-old, Quinn says children can be conducive to adventures. I recommend everyone get one if there is one available. He laughs. Kids point out objects, plants, businesses, and people you have never noticed before and ask questions you haven't considered. They may make you run or skip with them. I've learned so much from my son in terms of navigation, public space, making friends and dancing for no reason. For example, we wave every morning to the driver on the subway, says Quinn. When we first did that, the drivers thought something was wrong, so they would slow down. Now they wave back at us. They turn on the lights and they beep the horn. They understand that finally someone is acknowledging the fact that there is a driver in there. Like the driver of what? Of, like, just, what are the big cars called? Like, there's some normal cars with passengers, and there are like these big ass things that I don't know the name of, which basically only transport, goods around for companies. Have to look this up. Really have to look this up. Should I? Yeah, thank you. Nothing there. Never mind. So they understand that finally someone is acknowledging the fact that there is a driver in there. Even if you lack a young person to stroll with, you can bring a childlike attitude to your walk, or as Quinn puts it, a heightened openness. Imagine that you're a visitor from another planet. What would stand out to you about the people you pass by? What about the buildings? What sites or practices would mystify you or pique your interest? Yeah, actually a great thing. And it somehow, at least for me, does have something to do with being aware of what you're doing, what's around you, and being also a little bit more grateful and just showing gratitude for what's around you. Like, I assume that most of the people who are actually watching this podcast or watching this video are living in a very, 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 very good position. Like, they are not poor. I hope at least. And if so, it can still be manageable, or it can still be making you happy. Not like, okay, you're poor and this is making you happy, but you can still be happy even though you're poor. But a lot of people who are just still in a very, very great position, like I am, like in the middle of Europe, I don't have any fucking problems with war, with not having food, with just, all these problems that I'm having are quite first world problems. Most of the time, like, I'm not happy, or I don't know what to do now, or I don't like school. Something that I actually quite hate, when I hear people saying this, like, you're privileged to actually go to school, so just be fucking grateful so that you're actually able to. And if you don't like it, do something else. But I understand still, people like to complain, people like to dwell around and whatsoever. I understand that. But still, like, don't complain too much. Sometimes I think it's just normal, like, everybody does it, and that, as long as it's not too much, I think it's okay quite. But just it really makes you way more open to what you're just kind of seeing every single day out there, like the buildings that you're having, or the plants that you're seeing, the just if you're really keeping attention to these things. I don't promise, but I would say that you will feel somehow differently by going through the streets in your hometown, by just driving with your car, by just driving your bike, whatever, because you're seeing it, like, and this is a great article because it also shows me, like, okay, just keeping more attention to what I'm actually seeing. Like, an example. Let's take this. This is is it a power brick? It is the thing that you're just actually putting into your into the thing in the wall so that you actually get electricity and you can charge your phone. I think it's a power brick. Yeah, I think it is. With a European, obviously, just, piece and whatsoever. And if you're just looking at it, it is fucking simple. It is really fucking simple, but still, you can see tiny little cracks there. You can see some just, some scratches there because I haven't been been too nice with it. Then you can also see that it is bent somehow a little bit, like these two little kind of connection points. Then you see the Apple logo, you see some NY thing, then just a trash can that's crossed out, and a lot of other things. Like, and the shape, pretty interesting shape, by the way. And it feels quite great in your hand, to be honest. And it is quite slim, and there are power bricks that are pretty fucking big, and it's not that nice, still it's no, quick charge or whatever it is. But yeah, still it looks nice. Or this light, don't wonder why I'm having just, this thing laying around. It is just still a little bit, clunky and a little bit just like, yeah, it's still feeling great because everything is rounded. This kind of thing picked my attention actually, or piqued my attention. From the front, you might wonder why there in the middle of it is actually some circle going on, which I actually don't know. The button is quite interesting because it's a little bit, spongy. And there's also something like this, which, might show you the battery. I don't have any battery, so I don't know. Yeah, like you can see so much by just keeping attention to what's around you. So yeah, and the fifth one is, and the last one is, choose a novel lens to examine your neighborhood. So when Quinn, a London native, first moved to Vienna, he was unemployed. And searching for an occupation, he found an unexploited niche among the tourists' offerings. Walking tours with a sense of humor, he says, I saw an opportunity to play with Vienna's image because it's famously a beautiful city. On our tour, we passed lots of beautiful buildings, but I asked the people not to look at them and just to look at the mistakes. Another of his tours showcases 20 aromas in Vienna, 14 good smells and 6 bad smells. Pretty interesting, like. Channel Quinn's spirit and come up with a special theme for your work. You could sniff your way around, or you might decide to focus on the soundscapes, what he calls the hustle and the flow of the street, of the changing color palettes, or the trees and planet life, which count too. Or you could rate each block according to this question from Quinn: how fun is it to walk through? Like any journey, your walk won't be all intriguing sights and unforgettable exchanges, says Quinn. Of course, there are boring bits, and that's a part of walking, and that's a part of travel in general, but the very boringness of it becomes the subject. Yeah. It was actually a TEDx Vienna talk. Pretty interesting. Maybe I'll just, go through it afterwards, because it would be interesting for me, because it's, somehow related to me. Let's, by the way, see if there's something else. Want to be happy? Slow down. Beautiful pictures, by the way. Maybe this is nicer. Why we walk is the ideal speed to see the world. Maybe, for the people who are on the podcast, maybe you're interested in one of these topics, and then you just, can go to the ideas.ted.com website and look them up. By the way, I'm not getting paid for anything that I'm saying there. It's just that I'm, liking this website, and I think it's cool. So why wouldn't I suggest it? The first one is, why walking is the ideal speed to see the world. Yeah, I don't know. So the second one is, want to be happy, slow down. The third one is a walk with Daniel Kirsch, who navigates the world using flash sonar. I think he's blind. And he's actually clicking his tongue or something. And through this, he's actually kind of knowing where he is, because he's just noticing where his just sounds bounce off. And he then just can decide whether that object is near to him or not. And the last one actually is, need a fresh perspective, see the world like a horse does, or a cow, or a cat, or an ant. Pretty interesting. Or the difference between healthy and unhealthy love by Kathy Hood. Yeah. And about the author, Daniela Balacero is a media fellow at TEDx. She's also a writer and comedian based in New York City. So she's actually the author of this little article. pretty nice. Pretty fucking nice. And I guess they just, kind of summarize these TED Talks. But yeah, pretty fucking great episode. I hope you've liked it as well. I'm now gonna, I think, actually eat something or shower. Something like this. Then I have to learn, and then during these things, I'm gonna upload these 2 episodes. And then I guess I'm gonna do the post, and then I have to learn some art history once again, because I'm gonna write a test tomorrow actually. But yeah, I wish the best health, wealth, happiness, and success. Thank you, very much from the bottom of my fucking heart for watching this and or listening to me. I hope you've liked it. And still remember how you're gonna be remembered. So maybe you give back to the people by just, donating to charity or just smiling at others and having a great conversation. I'll see you.